Hi, I have a swatch and review. I actually haven't done a swatch and review in quite a while, and I really like doing these. This time I have 4 of the SH Insta-dri Sand. I think there's 8 in the collection, but these 4 just happen to be in my local Freddy Kroger's over the summer, I think. I must have got them quite a while ago. I feel like I got them in the summer. Anyway, these were the 4 that happened to be there, so I picked them up. I usually like to do some sort of nail art with the polishes that I'm making a video about. And this time they're textured. And so instead of just doing a skittle or something, I made DIY decals. Sorry, you might be hearing my son playing with packing peanuts in the background. He is in a box full of them. This time I made DIY decals with them and stuck them on with the top coat. Top coating changes the texture. And so I don't know how long they'll actually stay on because I couldn't top coat the whole thing and like seal them in like I normally would. But I think it makes kind of an interesting texture that way. And I just put them over Mind Bending. It's a Sally Hansen Insta-dri. You'll see me swatch out each of the 4, and then I tried out putting a matte top coat on one finger and just a regular the top coat I usually use, the Glossy in a Flash, over another one, and then I just left the other 2 textured. I was just curious how they would look. I actually really like them with the top coat. I think it looks really cool, but it does sort of defeat the purpose of having a textured polish. So the first one we're going to look at is Turbo Terrain, and it is a beige with kind of a pinkish shimmer. I did all of these in 3 coats, although Turbo Terrain was fairly opaque by the second coat. Anyway, it looks a lot like baby oatmeal or something on the first coat, especially before it dries. And here's the second coat. You can start to see the shimmer a bit more. The texture starts being a lot more apparent once it dries. It's a little bit of a sandpaper feel. I am a little bit disappointed that the shimmer kind of disappears, especially once it's dry. But here it is in 3 coats. Next, I'm going to show it with a matte top coat on my index finger, a glossy top coat on my middle finger, and no top coat on the other 2. This one is called Fast and Gritty. It's a sage green with a gold shimmer. So here's the first coat. They are quite easy to apply, all 4 of them, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I thought they might be kind of streaky or blotchy just because of the texture in there. I am also pretty happy with Fast and Gritty because the gold shimmer shows up a lot better than the kind of pinkish shimmer did in the first one. And with all 4 of these, the texture is a lot more apparent once it's dried down. So here is Fast and Gritty in 3 coats with no top coat. And again, I'm showing it on the index finger with a matte top coat and on the middle finger with a glossy top coat. Next up is Spice Oasis, which is a blurple or bluish purple with a bright purple or pinkish shimmer. I didn't like this one quite as much as I thought I would. The texture is pretty consistent through all 4 that I have, but this one I still had, with Spice Oasis, I still had visible nail line on the 3rd coat. And the shimmer does show up fairly well on Spice Oasis. So here is Spice Oasis in 3 coats with no top coat, so the texture is really showing. And then here it is with a matte top coat on my index finger and a glossy top coat on my middle finger. And the 4th one, Desert Ruby, ended up being my surprise favorite. It is a bright pinkish red with kind of a purpley shimmer to it. On the first coat, it dries down. It actually kind of looks like strawberry jelly to me, so that's kind of funny. The shimmer on Desert Ruby does come through pretty well, although it is one of the more subtle shimmers in the bottle. So with all 4 of these, I personally like them best with a glossy top coat, which does kind of defeat the purpose of getting a textured polish. I thought it still looked really interesting with a glossy top coat, and I feel like the shimmers show up best that way. But anyway, here it is with no top coat in 3 coats. And here it is with the matte top coat, and then the glossy top coat, and then no top coat. So here is the 4 that I picked up from the sand collection. My favorite ended up being Desert Ruby. I think they all look pretty interesting and kind of different and cool with a glossy top coat over them. The texture comes out with no top coat, and that's probably how they're meant to be worn. I just don't like having textured polishes, although I could definitely see using them for nail art. I would love to hear what you think about texture polish in the comments, and if you have any of these. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!